Have you ever listened back to one of your solos and thought, why doesn't it sound like jazz? The frustrating thing is, it's usually not because you don't know enough. It's because you're making one of these 5 very common mistakes. And the good news, every one of them is fixable.
These are the mistakes that I hear intermediate players make all the time. But don't worry, I used to do the same thing. We're going to go through step by step, and I'll show you what to do instead. Let's go. So did you notice a difference? With the first solo, it sounded like I was playing scales and practicing them. The second solo sounded more connected. That's because I was playing chord tones. So what I want you to do, so quick practice is take a tune, take the first 4 bars or 2-5-1 even, and I want you to just focus on chord tones and voice leading smoothly to the next one. You can do just thirds and sevenths, or you can focus on chord tones, the root, third, fifth, and the seventh. Either way, focus on your chord tones and work on voice leading to those, and you'll sound more musical instantly. The second mistake is not leaving enough space. Most players are afraid to have silence in their improvisation. They feel as if that shows that that's a lack of creativity on their part. They want these constant bebop lines that just keep flowing out non-stop like Charlie Parker, who was great, very great, but also controversial, may not be as musical at times because it was just a non-stop, like a spout of water just coming out. Bebop lines, bebop lines, bebop lines. But even to his credit, even he would stop now and then and start a new phrase. So what I want you to do to practice this is to play, and then when you come to an end of like a bar, give yourself a bar, 2 beats, beat, 3 beats, don't play anything. And then come back in and then play. So like how I'm talking to you now, there need to be pauses and not just a non-stop flow of words. So that's mistake number 2, not leaving enough space in your solos. Mistake number 3, starting a new idea every measure. You don't need to do that. That's like speaking in unrelated sentence fragments. You don't do it. What jazz musicians do is develop their motives. So in the second solo, I hope you heard I was playing and I had a motive going with those arpeggios, and then I was just changing it up subtly and slightly, but it filled up the space of a full 4 bars. But that was just one idea, and I just manipulated it. So you can do the same thing. So what I want you to do is practice it. So take an idea and then see how many different ways you can change it or tweak it, and then morph it to the chord changes underneath. And I guarantee you, you're playing the sound 10 times better. Mistake number 4, and one of my biggest ones, ignoring rhythm. Rhythm is king. Most people think that, playing more notes makes the solo more interesting, but that is not true. It's playing rhythms, and more interesting rhythms is what makes the solo interesting and memorable. The bossa nova that you hear going on here now is a prime example of that. Just listen to the rhythms. Boom, 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 boom. Up, boom, 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 boom. It's the rhythm. Simple little rhythm, but it creates the whole groove, and that's what you're gonna go from the insane listen to music or come from the gig singing, is hearing a rhythm that someone was playing. How many of y'all know da 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 da? I mean, I can't say anything, but you know what I'm talking about with the Beethoven. But you know that line, and it's simple little rhythm, but that's what gets stuck inside your ears, and that's what the listeners like to hear and what they get latched on. So pay attention to your rhythms, all right? Play less notes and play more rhythms. Develop them though, all right? All right. And the last one, number 5, thinking too much. This one trips up many a player, me included, all right? You're there, you're playing, and you're thinking scales, patterns, licks, substitutions, which position that you want to play in, or as I've heard it, you got this kind of let me show you this or check this out kind of mindset where you've got these things and you're like, okay, I've been practicing my superloquer substitution, so now I have to use this, and I'm just going to shoehorn it in here, and so on and so forth. But keep things simple. Disconnect from all that. When you're in the practice room, that's fine. Have that stuff running through your mind. But when you get up on the bandstand, keep it simple. Use your ears. Listen to the rhythms and what's going on and the people who are there. They're not your personal backing track, okay? Have a conversation with them, because by doing that, that'll also entertain, which is one of the main reasons you're there for playing music, is to entertain the people who are there listening to it. So have a good conversation with your bandmates, and then that'll make things interesting to make the audience want to listen, okay? So if I'm here and I'm just, trying to do some things on this F, and I just leave it there. So what I'm thinking is nothing. I'm just listening and letting my ear dictate where I'm gonna go to finish the conversation. And what I'm feeling, especially when playing bossa nova music, is I'm trying to play it as, I mean, for lack of a better term, as sexily as possible. I love the sound of the guitar, so when I get a good tone going on it, I just want to hear that tone or that guitar and let those notes just lay out there and make it sound sexy, you know? Get your head bopping and as they say, get you the stank face or whatnot, but just, you know, I want to make people groove and have a good time so I can have a good time, you know? So try it out. Just strip it down, keep it simple. If you're gonna focus on rhythm, focus on rhythm. You can hear that a lot in Grant Green's playing, where he gets into these little funks, to where he's just like playing a little phrase over and over, and it's just rhythmic. It's not a whole lot of notes. It's just him just playing rhythm, and you know, I can just imagine him trying to make people dance and, you know, and groove, and that's what you want to do, entertain. So keep it simple. Focus on one thing. If it's the chord tones, focus on your chord tones. If it's rhythm, focus on rhythm, which is always a good one. You know, and just have fun and listen. All right, now to recap, we have mistake 1 is playing scales instead of changes. Mistake 2 was never leaving space. Mistake 3 was starting a new ideas constantly. Number 4 was ignoring rhythm. And number 5 is thinking too much. So what I'm going to show you now is what a solo can sound like when you get those mistakes under control and just start listening. Okay? Let's do it. Pick up. Bonus one would be not using dynamics. Julian Lodge is great at using dynamics in his playing, and that'll add another dimension to your playing as well. So there's nothing wrong with playing fast at times as well, but also having a balance, because that can add tension. But check out dynamics as well. Try playing something like in his accents. Playing soft. But blast. The goal isn't to know everything. The goal is to make music. And hopefully this video has helped remove some stumbling blocks that was holding you back from making great music. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it. And hopefully it can help someone else who might be having some issues in their musical journey. And remember,